been quite a lot of ear with Europe in recent weeks against Turkey. What has the European reaction been so far to this result?
Well, it's an Easter long weekend here in Europe. So as you can see on the streets of Berlin, it's very quiet. It's very quiet in European capitals. So we may not get a stronger or more solid response from Europe until later in the week. So far, though, late on Sunday night, we had the German foreign minister say that it had been a bitter campaign, a bitter referendum, not only in Turkey, but also abroad in Germany. And he urged the Turkish people that whatever the results turned out to be, that they should remain calm and level-headed. Since then, we've had a statement from the European Commission. It has said that it will be assessing the results through its observer mission, looking into those alleged voting irregularities that the opposition have talked about, have accused the government of taking place. It's also said that it will be assessing the results in accordance with Turkey's application for membership of the European Union. Now, those talks are currently on hold or temporarily sort of suspended, but no doubt they're the kinds of issues that we'll be looking at. So thus far in Europe, we haven't had any strong response, even though certainly in the lead up to this referendum, all sorts of European leaders were talking about the referendum, about the bitter campaign, and many of them were saying that if these constitutional changes took place, that it could really deal a serious blow to the relationship between Turkey and Europe.
And Nicole, briefly, how did the expat community, the Turkish expat community in Germany, vote in this referendum?
Well, first of all, to give you the results across all expatriate countries, including Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, as they were quite similar, around 60% voted yes and 40% voted no.
OK, Nicole, many thanks for that. Nicole Johnson there, live for us in Berlin. OK, TRT World's Sally Ayhan is in the studio looking through the latest newspapers in Turkey and how they are reading the referendum results. Sally, what are you seeing in the papers?
Well, there's a lot of support for the yes vote from what I can see so far. We've got a couple of no supporters around. But firstly, this is the Daily Sabah. It's a pro-AK Party paper. It's an English version, this one. So you can see the picture here, very strong. A young woman smiling, a big Evet banner here saying yes to the referendum. The editorial states that in Turkey, a victory for democracy and stability will be seen. And there's also a columnist saying that this is a goodbye to the post-coup constitution, which is signalling the draft that the military made after the 1980 coup. So this is the biggest change since then. We've got the same paper, but the Turkish version of it. This has got a lot more nationalism here. So again, young people dancing in the street, banners, that sort of thing. Underneath that, we've got a democracy festival in headlines. We've also got this sort of sentiment that the people are taking charge here, especially in reference to the July 15th failed coup, that this is the people's coup sort of thing. Now, in terms of Yeni Shafak, this is again a pro-government newspaper here. This is referring to the role that the expat community played in the referendum, stating that 59% of the expat Turkish community voted yes. We still have to check those statistics there, but basically saying we can thank this vote to them, and that this is a big slap in the face to Europe, who were denying the family minister to try and campaign and detained her for a couple of days even. So this one was very much signalling the support for the vote internationally. Now, finally, we have, in terms of the yes or the positive support, we have the Ortadoğu, which is the Middle East, and that's a pro-MHP newspaper, a different party to the AK Party, but very much supporting the yes vote. And they're more around Turkish nationalism in terms of ethnic nationalism. And what they're showing here in these images is the different leaders voting in different regional areas. And they've also got images of regional people going to the polls on, blow-up boats, and also workers going to the polling stations in helicopters, that sort of thing. So really kind of identifying what's going on in the regional parts of the country. In terms of the more critical aspect of the media coverage here, we've got the Hurriyet, which is probably the most widely read newspaper. What you can see on the front is trying to balance out both views. Yeni system, new system, obviously the main headline there, but we've also got sort of a damning of the way that the YSK, which is the monitoring body that handles the election, has managed the system and has basically failed the election system by not ensuring that those stamps were put on those 2.5 million votes and that they should be recounted. On the other side, we've also got Erdogan saying that it's too late if you don't like it, tough luck, this is how it is. And we've also got Binali Yildirim here, of course, the Turkish Prime Minister, saying that this is a win for everyone, which is ironic, really, because in a couple of years' time, of course, his role will be redundant. So that's an interesting one. But what's more, perhaps, pro-hire, pro-no vote, which is the anti-government newspaper, is the secular newspaper, the Kemalist Thinking Foundation, called Sözcü. Now, this is supporting the CHP here. We've got, are you happy with your conscience? Do you have a clear conscience? Can you go forward with this vote? Images of the viral videos went around yesterday of people cheating while they were voting. And also a columnist, quite a famous columnist here, writing shame on you, and especially in regards, again, to that election monitoring body that changed their decision in the last minute to monitor those votes.
OK, Sally, many thanks for talking us through.